friends, welcome back to my channel, Life is Tiff Knows It. Tiff here, bringing you another WIP and Chat. It's been a hot minute since I did a WIP and Chat. It was not planned for me to not do my WIP and Chat last week. It was just such an insane week, which I'll get into a little bit with last week. I don't know about you all, but sometimes with me, when I'm reflecting back on a stressful week, it's kind of like I blank out and I'm like, I don't even remember some of the details. So we'll get into that. But before I get started diamond painting, every month I'm trying to really reflect on my goals that I really spent a lot of time thinking about over my winter break and going into like New Year's resolution season back in January. And for the most part, I have been doing really well with my fitness goals and my just eating healthier goals overall. And so I wanted to kind of like talk about a recap of February in that regard, talk about some goals that I've reflected on that I want to achieve in March, and then get kind of into diamond painting. I will say that diamond painting has been on the back burner for me, and I'm excited to get back into it. I haven't even touched my diamond painting since the last WIP and Chat, and that makes me so sad now that I'm looking at how beautiful this kit is turning out, and I've neglected it. So let's get into my goals. So in February, I was focusing a lot on 4 different elements to fitness, or like taking care of my body. Oh, I have to sneeze. Hold on. I hate that feeling, that tickling in my nose. Come on. Oh, excuse me. And they were the same goals I had in January, but February I did create a kind of like a calendar for myself to hold myself accountable every day to check in on these 4 things. First is if I did a workout. I have been doing a workout via YouTube, and I'll try to remember to link it in the description box, but I've been doing Burpee Girl workouts and really enjoying them. They're like 30-minute long. Well, they range from anywhere from like 40 minutes to 15 minutes, and I've been doing one for the most part every day. As you can see, I don't know if there was even one day that I missed. Now, I made a little bit of leeway with myself, and I did count shoveling snow as a workout instead, because when there were snow shoveling issues that popped up, it took away from my time to work out. So instead of like torturing myself and being like, I need to come up with a more time for my fitness schedule, even though I'm doing something way active and like muscle building, as if like, you know, with snow shoveling, I just counted it as that. And so, yeah, I'm pretty proud overall of February. I really got away from tracking water diligently. So I kind of was like, did I drink enough water today? Sure. So that is my goal for March, is to be very, very mindful of how I'm measuring my water intake. So, and I think the thing that kind of like messed up my flow is I, for a while, misplaced the water bottle I was using. And so I'm gonna just have to mentally check, like, did I drink enough water and equivalent it? Like for the small water bottle, it'd be 4 of the water bottle. For the medium one, it'd be 3, and for the big one, it'd be 2. So that's my goal, is to be very much more intentional about water intake, because I think I overestimated my water intake if I reached the goal, because I was thinking it was 92 fluid ounces I want. According to this, which, you know, I'm not trying to like overestimate, it's just kind of, I don't know, it's like a balance of holding myself accountable but also feeling good. I reached 91% of the time reaching my fitness goals, and I think it is really starting to pay off, because I've had multiple people tell me that they feel they've seen a difference in how I look. And the outcome of this is not necessarily to look a particular way. Like, of course, that's a benefit, but I'm doing this for my overall health and wellness, and just to feel like healthy and active. And so I'm really proud of myself for February. I think for the most part, I rocked it. And then that kind of brings us into March. So yesterday too, I was planning on filming this WIP and Chat, and it didn't happen because of just a comedy of errors. A lot of them having to do with this calendar. So I love that the other one was printed out. I could not get my computer to cooperate with me to print. Well, it would print, just wouldn't like load this calendar. And so I thought I would break it down a little bit more specifically, because I have supplements on this last one, but there's 2 supplements that I'm taking that I did fail at today. And I have not got my steps in today either, which is very rare. I'm sitting at, my goal is 10,000 steps. I am at 9,765. So very much I will reach that goal unless I could forget and just fall asleep, but absolutely attainable. But what I did is I broke it down into water intake, my protein shake, which I did not take today, which I'm really very much regretting, because I do make better food choices, and am able to have a lot more portion control and control when I have that protein shake. And honestly, it just was not a thought that crossed my mind, because my routine was thrown off with parent-teacher conferences. Like, I walked into the break room and there's this delicious pizza in front of me, and it just, I didn't even, if I would have thought about it, I would have done it. And so I think for me, because I just got back from vacation, and I'll talk a little bit about that later, it's very hard to get back into the habits that I've tried worked so hard to set. The green drink I do really good at. Every morning I take a green drink supplement. I'm really liking the Plexus stuff that my friend Josette let me use. It tastes so good. If you're looking for like a supplement that just gives you fruits and vegetables, I definitely would recommend the Plexus brand. And then, the workout's the same, water intake's the same. So I'm hoping, my goal all along has really been to get 70% of the time. In January, I think I got something ridiculous like in the 90s. So I still am like, I'm doing good. One thing that I did add to this is I did add a quote, and because it's March, and because I am part Irish, like probably like 1/16 Irish, I don't know. I did the Irish blessing, and it says, "May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face, and the rain fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand." And I don't know why, this just spoke to me because it's March. I do try to put like a motivational quote to remind myself of why I'm doing this. Like, why was it so, I was so passionate about it in January when I did all this work. Because I think after you do the same goal and you've achieved it, it kind of wears off, like the excitement of it. And I want this to keep going. So I also did outline some goals for March as well. And so the fitness and exercise goals, they're basically linked like this. The calendar is an expansion of this. And I think that's I put 100. Good. The calendar is a great system to hold myself accountable for this. I think I've made it pretty well known that I'm looking into shifting my career. And that could be a small shift with maybe working at a different school. Or I'm really looking into making a shift out of working in K-12 education, because it's taken a toll on my mental health. So I put a reminder to myself that this is starting to be the season, especially as we're entering kind of mid or late March, to just be bold and apply for jobs. Don't live in fear. I'm looking into completing 10 hours on LinkedIn of HR coursework, because that's kind of the field that I'm looking into. I know it's just hard to explain. I'm open to any opportunities, but HR has been like the one thing that I feel really like speaks to my heart and is exciting to me. So I want to kind of channel my nervous energy into taking coursework, because LinkedIn offers that. And then reach out to 2 contacts to network, which I honestly have already done that. And I guess it depends on the jobs that I'm applying for. And then with YouTube and diamond painting, this is where I've really let the ball drop. Like, I'm bummed that I didn't film a WIP and Chat last week. And I'm going to pull up my chair and get my notes. 1 second. I really do like to diamond paint. And so I feel that I don't have the mental bandwidth to even consider diamond painting because of all the other goals that I have. And so I'm really wanting to get back in the habit of filming my WIP and Chats, especially because my 1 year YouTube anniversary is coming up where I'm posting consistently. There is one random video about motherhood from like 3-4 years. It would be 3 years ago. I don't count that as like my YouTube anniversary because it was a one and done thing. But I want to get through the WIP and Chats. I want to, this current like beast of a project that I'm working on, like it is so big. Let's see if I can show you all. It's massive. Like you can't even see all of it as I'm pulling back the camera. Let's see if I can, oh, there's a picture of, of my family and some notes. It's huge. And so I want, especially over like the spring break, to really work on it because it does bring me joy, especially when I'm in the process of doing it. It does bring me lots of joy. So that's my goal. And then self-care, man, it's a struggle bus with eating out this week in particular because of parent-teacher conferences. So I'm not home to fix dinner. That protein shake, which honestly, I do count it as self-care. Like choosing to have something that fills my body with nutrients over junk is absolutely self-care. And I do think I make better decisions and can regulate my emotions better when I put good things in my body. And then that green drink is on there as well. So it's a little repetitive. Maybe next month I will rethink of how I'm doing self-care. And then the other thing that I'm adding that I have been doing, I don't know if it's been 5 days a week, I'm going to start tracking that, is journaling. And that's kind of been a recommendation. I have recently started therapy kind of to assist me in support with stress from my job. Like it has been a really hard year. And so just like, you got to talk the talk and walk the walk. I'm a mental health professional, and mental health professionals need mental health support too. So that's been a big suggestion from my therapist is to write, and it does help. Yeah, I just had a deja vu moment. How weird. Like about filming this video and looking at this diamond painting. So weird. Oh my gosh. Do you guys ever have deja vu moments? I haven't had one for a long time. So crazy. All right. So that's kind of my goals. I like checking in with my goals because it sparks a motivation factor for me. I hope that it's inspirational to you and it helps you, like, if you're looking on self-improvement or whatever it is, you can have goals, and I'd love to hear about what your goals are. Especially, like, I feel as we're entering into March, it's definitely not the beginning of the year anymore. Like, it's, I think you can hold on to resolutions, like, traditionally for maybe, like, mid-February, and now we're into March, so let me be part of your motivation story if you want me to be, with whatever you want to achieve. I'd love to know more of what are you trying to achieve. Okay, I just realized I do not have a boat down here. Really? Or is it just hiding? Let me see if I can. It's been that long that I don't even have a boat. What the heck is going on, people? Or a pen? Did I take it? Oh, I bet I took it for... I remember what I did. I haven't worked on this piece because I was working on a birthday card for my friend. So let me pause and I will be right back to grab the materials that I need to start diamond painting. Okay, thankfully I just had to walk a few feet. It was in the same room. It was just on a different table. So let's see. Do I have any number 2 to do? I do not. Let me put this back. So, if you are new to my channel, thank you for listening to my goals. And if you haven't tuned in for a while or you're not sure what I'm working on, this is a Diamond Art Club piece. It is entitled Aurora Beauty by the artist, Deborah Malcom. And it's a big one, as I had shown you earlier. I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm a little disappointed in myself with the placement of the drills. Like, I see a lot of imperfections, and I'm just trying to let it go. So, I've gotten... Obviously, you can see that this is the edge of the diamond painting. I've only had, like, done one panel, one section so far. So, yeah. But I'm savoring it, and it is still, it's kind of like that weird in between winter and spring vibe I'm feeling right now. So this piece reminds me of like winter nights. So I'm still really vibing and feeling this piece. I think in my mind I was hoping to get this done by the end of the school year. And I think that's still manageable if I really put some time into this, which sometimes that's what I need. Is diamond painting serves as like a distraction and a visual for what it looks like to make progress on something. A lot of my work with kids and assisting with mental health, you don't see the growth from it, and it's super frustrating. And so I really like how concrete diamond painting is. You put the drills down where they go. There's a designated spot for every drill, and it's satisfying. So I'm probably preaching to the choir, because you probably wouldn't be watching WIP and Chat if you didn't like diamond painting, or you just stumbled upon this randomly. And I would highly recommend trying diamond painting if I were you. A little bit of a biased opinion, not gonna lie. So yep, that's the piece I'm working on. It's from Diamond Art Club. I think I mentioned that. I got this as a birthday gift last year from my mom. Thank you, Mom, if you're watching. Let's see. So last week, before I consult my notes, let's see if there's anything memorable from last week. You know, have you ever just had one of those weeks where it just melts away because there's just so much going on? That was kind of like how last week was for me. I was doing a lot of preparing for my daughter Denise's birthday. So she turned 4 yesterday, March 6th. And yeah, it was... I have never raced so much to get my house clean. Like, I do not like to procrastinate with that stuff. I like to try to get everything done I can, even the weekend before, which some of it, oh my gosh, this drill. What is going on, dude? Some of it I did get ready for the party last weekend, but the majority of it I didn't. I kept thinking in my mind, I'll just do it tomorrow. But I just have been so exhausted from long days, insane situations at work, and just did not have the mental capacity to even process things like doing WIP and Chat and cleaning the house. You know, it just, sometimes my job takes everything out of me. And so, anyway, I was very proud that Bill, my husband, and we like cleaned and cleaned and cleaned, got the house clean on Friday, because we invited about 15 people over on Saturday. My parents came over early. They helped watch Denise, because I feel what happens in my household anyway is as soon as I straighten up one room, I turn around, my toddler tornado has destroyed another room. And she's getting to the age where she really does need to take accountability and responsibility to clean up. Like, I don't want to be a helicopter or a lawnmower parent and do everything for her. But at the same time, I was not about to get into a ton of power struggles that would take away from me being efficiently cleaning the house. Like, you know, it's not a big deal to get, if the house isn't like totally clean and I'm not going to clean for her, with a low pressure situation, but this party, like I wanted our house to look good. I try to hide how, I guess it's just, I can't manage all of it. I'll just be completely honest. Like, I don't know if it is a me problem or if it's like just unrealistic expectations, but being a full-time, a working mom is no joke. Like, I do not know how people do it. I think there are a lot of people that handle it much better than I do, but it's okay because at the end of the day, we had a lovely party for Denise. It was Minnie Mouse themed. You can see, probably you've noticed my tattoo. I have one on each hand. It was so cute. So I bought these decorations for relatively cheap on Amazon. And it came with these tattoos. And I was really kind of surprised at how much Denise loved the tattoos. Like, she kind of greeted everybody and then asked them, would you like a tattoo? And I love how into it all of the guests got, because a lot of them are just our friends that we invited to Denise's birthday party. One of them like allowed her to put one of these tattoos on his forehead. Like, it was so funny. But I will say, I don't know, like, for being like very inexpensive Amazon material, like, you know, not from Amazon, you know what I mean? These tattoos will not come off. This is from last Saturday and today is Tuesday night. I had to scrub my neck to get a neck tattoo off, and it truly looks like I have a hickey right now. So that it's funny. I'm down for it. Like, I think it's funny that people are asking or saying, I really like your Minnie and Mickey tattoo. Yeah. Thank you. This weekend we went to Great Wolf Lodge, and one of the lifeguards said, I really like your Mickey tattoo. I'm like, thanks, it's from a birthday party. And then I felt this need to explain, like, oh, not my birthday party, my daughter's. He's probably like, I don't need to know that, I was just trying to be nice. But I do feel this need to explain why I have a Mickey Mouse tattoo. So yeah, we had the party, we kind of splurged a little bit and had it catered, because my mental capacity was just about getting the house cleaned. I'm so glad my parents came, because my dad helped with the deck, my mom helped with the windows, like, everybody had a job. And at the same time, we were distracting Denise to not make more messes. So it was super nice to have it catered. And we had Noodles and Company cater it, and they have something called a Mac bar. And it's like a bar, it's all of these options for macaroni and cheese. So you get like the base macaroni and cheese, which my humble opinion is that Noodles has the best macaroni and cheese, like, of restaurants. Let me know if there's something you enjoy more than Noodles that I should try. But Noodles is legit with their mac and cheese. And then you get like toppings. Like, we ordered grilled chicken to put on it. There was barbecue sauce that you can put on your mac and cheese, or buffalo sauce. We had tofu, which I personally loved. Their tofu is pretty tasty. Excuse me. But it had tomatoes and then we ordered like a salad, so you could put all the toppings, different cheeses. You could put it on your mac and cheese. You could put it in a salad. It was so fun. And yeah, it was a little bit pricey, but worth it. And I need to remember to bring in, we have a whole tray left of mac and cheese. I need to bring it into work so I don't waste it. Although at this point, it might not be terribly fresh. I have a weird thing about food being fresh. I really get grossed out with food that's getting old. I don't know where that stems from. I don't have like one experience that I can say definitively made me feel that way, but yeah, it's not was just having this conversation with my husband about, because we were like so busy getting the house clean, we had a HelloFresh meal that really was not very fresh because I conveniently just said, let's just pick up something for dinner. I don't want to have to clean the kitchen before a party, which I think is valid. Like that part, and you know, it's just any excuse to eat out. I really need to work on that. So anyway, I was having this conversation with my husband about HelloFresh and not feeling like the meat tasted fresh. And he's like, I thought it tasted fine. You're crazy. And I'm very sensitive to old meat, old produce, old things. I don't know. But the party was so fun. I hope that Denise enjoyed it as much as I did. Like, she got so many gifts, and I'm just so thankful for having such like good family and friends that have not only like been there for her, but supported Bill and I, because parenting is hard. And so I loved seeing everyone together. It was the first time really since, you know, the Rona happened right after Denise's first birthday party. And this is the first time where like it really didn't even cross my mind. Like it was a normal party. There's no talk about masks, no talk about the Rona, nothing. And it felt just so nice to see what a support system Denise has and like that we have. It was so fun too. Like, yeah. So amazing weekend. And then after the party, we went to Great Wolf Lodge. So we live about 30 miles away from a Great Wolf Lodge. And I actually have gone there before because of a conference. And I'll tell you, one of the saddest things is when you are at a fun place like Great Wolf Lodge just to be at a conference. And if you're new to what Great Wolf Lodge is, you haven't heard of it, it's essentially a lodge, like a hotel, and it's a chain, so it's across the United States, that is also an indoor water park, and it has a lot of different things that kids can do. It's definitely marketed to families and kids, and it has like a wave pool and water slides and mini golf and a Magic Quest and a bunch of restaurants and ice cream and Dunkin' Donuts and a ropes course and a climbing wall, like so many things, a Build-A-Bear. So I was there, ironically, when I was pregnant with Denise, and as much as I love water slides, absolutely love them, but I knew being pregnant at the time, I would just be tempted to go on a slide I shouldn't go on, so I chose not to go at this point, 5 years ago. And always in my mind, I've been like, I want to go back to Great Wolf Lodge, and I finally got my chance. So that was so much fun. I went with my mom. I actually have a whole video where I vlogged moments of that trip. And I think the best part of that, I'm silly. That trip was like knowing I really got my bang for my buck, because that's the other thing too. With me is I am more of a homebody. That's why I really want a job where I can work from home. I think that'd be amazing. And Bill and I don't really splurge on vacations. Sometimes I feel that vacations, they're a little bit overrated and can be so expensive. So if I'm going to pay for a vacation, I want the factor of getting a good deal to be part of it. And I definitely did with Great Wolf Lodge, because normally the rates for a room can range anywhere from $300 to $500, which is insane. There is no room that is worth that much money. And so I didn't realize until after I booked it through Groupon, that the water park is actually included in the room. So I booked a room that could comfortably sleep 5, and in theory 5 people could have accessed the water park, not only like after check-in, but beforehand too. So if you checked in on a Saturday and the check-in time is at 4 p.m., you could go technically in the morning, check in then, and go to the water park all day. And then also go to the water park the next day if you checked out that day. You can go after checkout. Amazing deal. And I'm so proud of myself. I got the room for $130. So my mom, my daughter, and me got to access a water park for 2 days, stay in a beautiful hotel with a wonderful view, all for $130. Like, proud of myself. I'm so proud of myself. I highly recommend, if you're interested in a Great Wolf Lodge or any other vacation, you can do it on the cheap. So, yay me, I did that right. And there were some parts of Great Wolf that I was like not as little disappointed by, but all those details are in the other video. Trying to think of funny things that happened during the trip. I will say something kind of... Oh, okay. I have to tell you about 2 completely opposite water slide experiences. So Denise, like in general, is like, doesn't really like slides. Like she gets like this fear built up of just slides in general, like at playgrounds. And I don't think she's had like an overly bad experience with slides. Well, now she will have. But I was really impressed and wanted to like praise Denise for being so brave and going down some slides at Great Wolf Lodge. Like, and I pushed it too far. Like, she went on a slide that like they'll allow 4-year-olds to go on, but it's not, it's definitely marketed for like older kids. And that one, she was scared. She kind of got some water in her eyes and her face, but said, I want to do the next one. And I should have said no. I sent her down a slide that was a little bit bigger that I thought she would like a little bit more because it wasn't a tube slide, and that was a terrible idea, and I feel so bad. So I went down first to show her it wasn't that bad, and then I was like waiting at the bottom, and I was starting to get nervous, like she's not coming down, what's going on? And I wanted to be there to catch her, and poor thing, she was trying to sit up like I told her, try to sit up, and she lost her footing or something happened. She went down this slide backwards and hit her head, and I felt so bad. It was a not so good moment, and all of that work that I did to like build her self-esteem with water slides went down the drain, because the smaller water slide she went on good 50 times, and so I should have just, quit while you're ahead. Now, the opposite happened with me. So, there's this slide there, and it's called the Wolf Tail. And I've been wanting to go to Great Wolf Lodge for so bad that I was determined that I wanted to etch out some time where Denise would be in the room with my mom. They'd be playing games. I wouldn't feel any mom guilt because, like, Denise had accessed the water park for like a good 3 hours. She's exhausted, and she wanted to go in the room. I thought, this is my chance. I'm going to try everything at Great Wolf Lodge that I haven't got a chance to try. I went on all the slides that I could that are single, that like a single person could do, because my husband's not too big on water slides. He did not come on this trip because of that. But the slide that I really wanted to go on, I learned you can't do it just like alone. It has to be in a group of 4. And then the other slide that looked really exciting to me, it kind of had that fear factor that is almost too much. Like, it was like almost a vertical drop for part of the slide. And then the more I learned is there's even like a trap door involved where you're like physically standing up and they count down and the door disappears and you just drop for 20 feet. And honestly, it felt it felt like really exciting to try it, but I would chicken out. Like I would talk myself out of it. Like I would read the description and it would say things like have the ability to control body and stay in the supine position. And I'm like, well, I think I have control of my body, but what if I get scared? And I just like played this like completely fear scenario that just like I wrestled with for like a good 2 hours. Like I want to do it, but I can't, and just chickening out. And I have this like pattern of doing that with these big rides. In fact, I'll never forget when I was like 14 years old, I did that with a big roller coaster. I got on the roller coaster and begged them to take me off of it. And I've always regretted doing that. Like I felt this sense that I lost control and let my fear take over, because I definitely struggle sometimes with anxious feelings. And so I'm so proud of myself, because the next day went back to the room, felt kind of like disappointed in myself, watched other people on YouTube like make videos about this water slide, and I decided, no, I'm not going to let fear overtake me, or this is supposed to be an enjoyable experience. And I spent the free time that I've been craving for years worrying about this stupid slide. And so I said, I'm just going to go on the slide. The chances of me being injured are so slim. Like, the slide was made for teenagers. And so in the video you'll see, but I was so excited. I did the slide. I'm perfectly fine. I went on it twice and I would love to do it again. I'm so excited to go back so that I can have that exhilaration rush again. And I think it definitely parallels the point in life that I'm at with my career. Like, I am terrified of such a major change in my life as changing my career or pursuing or even looking into it. But I can't let fear override what I know is good for me. I don't want to stay in a place because I'm afraid of what will happen. I want to take risks, calculated risks. I want to put myself out there, even though I am definitely risking my self-esteem if I get declined, or like I don't get the job. But like, I need to take risks and put myself out there and be okay, even if I don't get the job that I want, even if I struggle a lot with like self-confidence. It's so important I go down the slide. Meaning I apply for those jobs. I believe in myself, or fake it till I make it, or all of those things. And so I felt it was very much symbolic of this like internal struggle I've had for so long about who I am and how that's related to my career, and how I know I have an idea of what I want my life to look like, and how my job does not allow me the freedom that I need to create the life that I want. And I don't want to live in fear. And I don't want other people's decisions of them staying or going to a different school and pressuring me, or me feeling pressured, to influence what is good for me and what's best for me. And that's not selfish. I don't want to feel like I have to pour from an empty cup all the time because I should do it. I want to find my purpose and my meaning in life in a way that doesn't stretch me so thin that I'm upset all the time, or resentful all the time, or frustrated all the time. that's not the type of life that is best for me or my family. You know, especially like, I do think that the body keeps score, just like that book talks about. That I haven't read that book, but I really want to. That, like, I don't want a short life full of stress. I want a long, fulfilling life that I model for my daughter what it looks like to manage a career and manage being a mom and manage all the things and doing it in a way that I still love my life. And I'm failing at that right now. I'm failing at loving my job. And it doesn't need to be that I love it, but I have to be able to function in it. So I even have a quote. I haven't even looked at my notes this whole time. It's about anger, because I have so much pent up anger at the situation I'm in. Anyone can become angry. That is easy. But to be angry with the right person and to the right degree and at the right time for the right purpose and in the right way, that is not within everybody's power, and it's not easy. Aristotle said that. And I acknowledge that many of the markers of being in the right with anger, I'm not hitting. And it's kind of like this idea then, like, if I know it's making me angry, I just want to walk away from it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it to me anymore. And it feels liberating to say that, to know that. And yeah, so that's kind of my analogy of this fearful water slide that I faced my fear and I absolutely loved, and I wish I would have done it sooner. That's what I think of when I think of Great Wolf Lodge. And I took a whole day off and didn't check my emails. That was amazing for me. I've also been listening to a lot of affirmations, and that's been super helpful for me too. I found this one is super not appropriate, like in the sense of like curse words, but it was called Bad Bitch Affirmations, and I loved it. So that's kind of like the scoop of what's been going on with me. Next week is spring break. I'm so excited for spring break. I'm really going to focus on getting more progress done on this beautiful diamond painting, spending time with my daughter, and changing my situation. And I'm so proud of myself for not living in denial and not suppressing how I'm feeling and walking away from something that's toxic and not good for me. And hopefully doing it in a way that I don't burn any bridges. So, yes. That in a nutshell is where I'm at, what I'm doing. That's probably going to be my WIP and Chat for this week. Thank you so much for joining me on my WIP and Chat adventures. If you have not already done so, please consider subscribing. I am so close at this point to having 300 subscribers. And that is a huge deal to me, because in beginning of December, I was celebrating 200 subscribers, and it tells me my channel is growing. And it just brings a lot of joy to my heart and to my life to make these YouTube videos. And I love that positive reinforcement that you guys are liking what I'm making. So please consider subscribing if you are not subscribed. Liking helps, commenting helps, all of those things that you hear probably from other YouTubers too. I hope you all are doing well. Please let me know how you're doing in the comments. If you would like, you can add a cloverleaf emoji, because we have St. Patty's Day coming up, one of my favorite holidays. And I'll leave you with that. You guys have a great day, night, evening, whenever you are watching this. I will talk to you in next week's WIP and Chat. Bye!